I'm Lauren and this is Papyrus HOPECAST. Today I'm joined by Kirk Norcross, who's been personally affected by suicide. Kirk talks to me about what coping mechanisms he uses to protect his mental health and how he can access support. So Kirk, mental health and suicide is such a big issue. Mm-hmm. Why is it so important to break the stigma and talk about how you're feeling?
I just feel bad. I mainly personally point at the men because I do see these trapped men that are struggling daily, and I'm not sure why this old school man stigma is still attached to mental health, and and I believe bottling something up just going to make a problem worse, and I see it from my father. Obviously, I lost my father due to suicide, and he was your old school era. That couldn't say if they were feeling sad, couldn't ask for a cuddle, couldn't ask for help. Why can't you? You can only get better at things by working hard and asking for help. So if you have a problem mentally, why not ask for help with that? Because you will overcome it. It might take time. But it's upsetting. I do see a lot of men on social media and people I know struggling in themselves because they're too upset, too scared, and maybe what they would class as a shame to say, I'm having a bad day. What's wrong with having a bad day?
And it's that toxic masculinity image, isn't it? Men, what a strong man looks like strong men.
Yeah.
They hold their head up high, they don't talk about the feelings, they don't say, oh, you're struggling, you don't admit you're something wrong. What are your thoughts on that?
You know what? I generally believe that the masculinity thing, it's got to be like gone now, To me, a strong man, it doesn't mean someone that looks physically strong or just gets on with it and brushes it off. To me, a strong man is I've got a friend, I won't mention his name, and he will bring me up when he's struggling. Say, mate, I am trapped. I don't know what to do. And that's a strong man to me. That really is a strong man, and I believe we need to sort of push the clouds away and make it aware that there should be no stigma attached to it. Doesn't mean you're any less or any more of a man if you say you're upset. It's an emotion. We all feel it.
And that image has always been there, isn't it? In
Yes.
society, in the media, in books, in films,
Yeah.
what a strong man looks like, and it's about breaking that stereotype.
1,000,000%, yeah, 1,000,000%, and that's what I'm here to do. I will class myself as your cheeky chappy, your everyday man. And I just open up. You feel so much better. There isn't. Yeah, just I don't care how big or how small or how manly you think you are. It's a different world we live in. It's a different society. It's all the same between a man and a woman. You know what I mean? It's all about growth and progression, and you can only grow if you open up. If you put an analogy on it, imagine if you had a flower, and you put a plant in a cupboard and shut the doors, it won't grow because it hasn't got the help or the light. And if you was to open the doors, that flower will flourish. So if a man was to open his emotional doors, you will grow, progress, and you can live a life beyond your wildest dreams. And that's the truth, and that really is. And I know because I've done that.
And you're such a positive role model on social media, for young people, particularly young men.
Yes.
And saying, it's okay to say, I'm struggling, your analogies like that, it makes it so relatable, and it's so honest and raw as well.
Yeah, that's what I do. So I use my social media platform, mainly on Instagram. Purely, I'm not medically trained to give anyone advice, so I've gone through hell. I've gone through suicidal thoughts, suicide ideation, seeing my father commit suicide himself, and it has made me just so aware of this, and I use my platform now to just talk about my experience, what I've done, what my triggers are, what I do to get over my triggers, and I talk about them. So hopefully if people are watching my social media, if they feel comfortable to use my steps to better their life, hopefully it works for them, that's what I try to do, give everyone a reason to smile, that's all we can do, if I can make one person smile, I really feel like I've won that day, and yeah, it's good, a smile is infectious, making people laugh, it releases endorphins. When you release endorphins, you've had a good day, trust me, so make people smile.
And you certainly do that too. You reach out to people, and it is infectious, like you say, but it's normalising that conversation, even though it's all good to smile and have that image, but it's normalising that conversation around suicide and asking it straight up, are you thinking about suicide?
Yes.
Have you got suicidal thoughts? Are you thinking of hurting yourself? It's normalising that conversation. That's what you do with your videos on social media.
Definitely, yeah. Look, I wish people didn't think them things,
Yeah.
but it's normal to think that, you know. There's so much pressures in life, you know. If it's normal to think about them things, why is it not normal to talk about it? Talk about it, you know. And when I have had suicide ideations, the minute I have a friend, I know my triggers, and I will open up to, is one friend that I'll open up to. And the minute I've spoke about what I'm thinking, it goes, and I half laugh. I was like, I'm glad that I spoke about it because it's taken a weight off my shoulders. But they're just feelings, you know, and it doesn't matter if one day we wake up and we haven't got money that day. It doesn't matter if we wake up and we haven't got a relationship day. It doesn't matter if we wake up that day and we haven't got a job. We woke up. That's, you know what I mean?
It's like going back to basics in a way, isn't it? You know, we all think ahead like, we want this perfect life, we want this perfect image, I want the best day ever, but sometimes it's the little things that bring you happiness, you know, waking up, looking after your plans.
1,000,000%,
you
yeah.
know, seeing a loved one, you know, little things like that.
That's it, you know. I used to be quite materialistic. I'm not going to lie, you know, my lifestyle was driven around money and the stuff that money can bring. And was I happy at the time? Yeah, but temporary happiness. And now the little things in life give me so much pride. So me and my dad, we had a greenhouse and we always used to take care of that. I've lost my father, but I take pride in taking after that now. Do you know what I mean? And it's
therapeutic for you.
1,000,000%. I'm still with my father. I'm still hearing the things he's taught me. You know, when I'm doing a plant, I can hear him say, "You're doing it wrong." You know, so I'm still
Happy
with him.
memories, yeah.
Well, that's it. That is it. You know, what I've started to do with life now is just look at everything positive, and it does take a while to train yourself and to sort of reset your brain and the way of thinking. But when my father left us, you know, I was thinking, I missed this with my dad, I'm missing that with my dad. And now what I do is I remember all the times that I had with my dad. Do you know what I mean? I had 32 and a half amazing years with my father, you know, that make me smile, you know, and it's always thinking about times we've had rather than times we lost, because we are programmed nowadays, and it is quite sad. We're programmed to think of the worst, the negative. And I refuse to, because I won't live in a world where we always think what's the worst is going to happen. I'm going to take risk, and people say failure isn't an option. To me it is, because if I fail at something, I've tried.
Exactly.
And that's all you can do.
That's what it's like. And we see failure, you know, we think it's such a negative image, don't we? But sometimes it's not winning, it's taking part, isn't it?
1,000,000%.
It's the fact you give it a go, you give it your all.
You know what? Like, I don't care if you try your hardest to do a job and it doesn't matter. As long as you go to bed that night and think, I've really tried.
Yeah, put me all into
That's
that.
all we can do.
Yeah.
You know, what I try to do is be a fraction of a percent better than I was the day before.
And it's your mentality around it all. You've got such a fabulous, like, you know, positive outlook on life. You know, you put your all into everything. You realise, you know, what your triggers are, and that from working on yourself. What self-care methods have you found that help you? Like,
So,
you know, when you're having a rubbish day, what do you?
Yeah, I
practice?
have different. Not all my self-care methods work all the time. So sometimes I want to be on my own, but I've got to know when it's right to be on my own and when not to. If I've just feel a bit, you know what, I just want to chill out, that's good. But the gym, activities, I keep saying it, anything that will make you laugh and smile, do that when you're feeling down, because scientifically proven it releases endorphins and it will help you out. Vitamin D you get from the sunlight, you know, I don't care even if it looks like a dull day, you do get it. Get out,
That's me booking a holiday.
You know what I mean? You got to get out your house, and you've just got to. The best, if I can give one bit of advice for a self-care, would be routine.
Yeah.
I don't care if you haven't got a job or you have got a job. If you get up at the same time every morning and go to bed at the same time every night, your body I guarantee you do that for 3 months, your life will change. I don't care if you wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning, do that every day.
Yeah.
Go to bed at the same time every day. And I guarantee 8 out of 10 people that try that, their life will change. The minute you get in a routine, you start getting some structure to your life. A little thing that I do, second I wake up, I make my bed. Because it doesn't matter how rubbish my day has been, I've accomplished something.
Yeah, totally.
You know,
when you get home, it's like you're ready for bed then.
That's
it's like,
it.
my bed's neat, I'm ready
I've
to
done it.
rest now.
You've
Yeah,
done it.
that's
You've accomplished something, you know. And if you can, the little things help, you know. Little things make the big things easier to do, you know. Just routine is key, you know. When I lost my father, my routine went out the window, and I become an emotional wreck, you know. I didn't know if I was coming or going. Did I want to be here? Did I want to stay? But yeah, I want to stay, man, because this is a good place we live in, and there's so much to do. Rather than get upset on losing my dad, I'm doing everything in my power to be happy of who I am today, that my father raised a great person, and that's all I can do is just be the best version of me, and everyone else that's watching this, be the best version of you. It doesn't matter if you've got no money or a load of money, trying, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter, I don't really like talking about it. I had a phenomenal amount of money at one point, and it just went, and then I've realised I don't want that again.
You realise what makes you happy and what doesn't make you happy.
I just want to be happy if I've got my children, my family, and my health. That's all that matters, and you can get your health for free. You get out and go it doesn't cost no money to go for a walk or go for a jog, you know what I mean? It doesn't cost no money to eat a bit of fruit. They're pennies, honestly, and if someone is watching this and in a bit of a rut, they're looking at us thinking, it's easier said than done. And it is, I know it is.
But you're proof of that because you've overcome so much in your life, and again, it's going back to being that role model and that mentality around it all. But you've overcome so much, and that's what people watching this interview are going to recognise. If you can get through that, I can get through that.
Just perseverance, isn't it? I have bad days. Yesterday was a terrible day. I didn't want to leave the house. Didn't want to, but I forced myself to. I forced myself to get out. And look, if everyone follows my methods, Papyrus's methods, your methods, it's not going to work every day, but you will have more good days than bad days. And I generally do need bad days in my life still, because you only know you're having a good day because of the bad days, and
you appreciate the good days then, don't
1,000,000%, you need the good to feel the bad, and you need the bad to feel the good. Some people don't agree with that, but personally, me, I do. If there was no bad days, you would never probably smile. You wouldn't have a good day in you. It's
I think that's the secret. I think that you touched on that. It's accepting the bad day. It's not, masking the bad day. It's almost embracing the bad day. And I think that's what some people should take on board and feel like actually it's okay to admit, I'm having a rubbish day. I feel it's not going my way.
We're only human. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're allowed to be chemically unbalanced one day. You know what I mean? We're human. Who cares if you're upset? Just don't let it control your life. Just sort of do what you got to do that day to white knuckle it. I mean, what was it, a couple of weeks ago? If it went wrong, it could have went wrong in 1 week. Monday, everything went wrong. Tuesday, everything went wrong. Wednesday, everything came wrong, and I heard my dad say, Kirk, go home and lock yourself away before you hurt yourself or hurt someone else. So as I went to get in my car, I dropped my keys down the drain, full of water. No. And you know what I'd done? I laughed. I thought, you know what, someone's testing me, and it means there's a good day coming. Yeah. Because you know what? The good thing about me hitting rock bottom, there was only one way up. Yeah. I can tell everyone now, you have survived 100% of your bad days. That's all you can say. I've been at the point when I'm crying, I've got no money, and I'm like, I'm never going to earn money again. You did. I've lost relationships, cried, and thought, I'm never going to get a relationship again. I did. I've lost jobs.
So much to live for,
You know what I mean? I've lost jobs and thought, I'm never going to get that. Of course, we're going to feel bad when we're having a bad day, but just white knuckle it. Surround yourself with friends and family. And that's what you can do. Smile and laugh and joke about it. It's again, just we need them bad days. We do need them bad days, because when we are sitting there having a good day, we'll laugh and think, oh my God, remember what happened yesterday? I had a friend I was talking to on the phone. She was struggling at the moment. She was on the phone to me crying. I said, you will laugh about this tomorrow. She went, no, I can't, I won't. You're like, my life's hell. I spoke to her that evening. She's laughing. Oh my God, remember what happened to me this morning? I said, see, just talk. Open up.
That's a really interesting angle though, because as not someone necessarily having a bad day, but someone, it could be your sister, it could be your brother, it could be your friend. If they're experiencing a bad day, like how do you manage that? How do you get them feeling a bit better?
You know what? I generally believe just taking people out of their comfort zone just for a little bit. Because when you're stuck in a rut, that's all you can think of. If your brother or your sister, your mum or your dad's having a bad day, you've got to force them out. It probably will take some arguing, but the minute you take them out of that rut that they're in, they forget about it, and then they start seeing how good everything else is around them, So, you can't take my advice on everything though, my personal advice, because some people are a little bit more temperamental than us, you know what I mean? And you do need to be careful, and but we're human, we're soft people, you know, we have feelings, man or woman, I don't care. We all bleed the same, we all cry the same. It doesn't mean that we're any different. I don't care if you're a 20-stone man with muscles and tattoos. If you're feeling bad, tell someone.
Yeah. And like you say, sometimes it can be more than a bad day, but that's why, you know, there's people like Papyrus and Hopeline, and people can access this service and say, it could be a concerned other, it could be, I'm feeling really, really low at the minute, but reach out, and that's the most important thing, is talking.
Oh, 1,000,000% talking, and that's why I'm glad I'm here with you today, because it's not just for people that are struggling. If you've noticed a change in someone in your family, or even your office, even a worker that you don't really talk to, you know, contact Papyrus and say, I've seen this person daily and their mannerisms have changed, and it might be something you used to be like, right, that's a trigger, we know this is how you do it, or you know, I tell people, go to the doctors. If you're not feeling great, go to the doctors, and I understand that, you know, it's not as easy as that now. That's why I'm so happy that there's charities like you, because you do make it easier for people. And you know what, if I can generally make one person smile and save one person's life, I do think I've made the world a better place. There's, how many people? We got near on 8 billion people in the world. If one person tried their best to stop one person thinking about or committing suicide, imagine the world we live in. It'd be amazing, you know.
And it's smashing that stigma as well, and it's people never want to admit they're really struggling and thinking about suicide, but it's opening that conversation up and actually saying, I need to talk, and that's the most important thing.
That's it. You know what? There is no beating around the bush. It is like ripping off a bandage, and it's going to hurt you, and it's going to hurt the person you're telling as well.
It can be life and death, can't it?
1,000,000%. But when I'm happy, I'll tell people I'm happy. Why would I not tell people if I'm sad? You know, why is this? Why are we ashamed? Don't be. Like, get rid of that stigma. Try it for a year. Try it for a week. Trust me, you will feel better, I promise you, and it is. And look, can I do it on my own? No. Can Papyrus do it on their own? No. All of us, anyone that's watching this, we can really get rid of this stigma, you know. And I don't just believe it's just men. I believe, I got raised by a single parent, you know, my mother. And I generally believe that single parents, they're doing both roles, you know, and they can't show that they're upset. No. Why can't you? Your kids will be willing to help you as much as you're willing to help them.
You've got to lean on someone. Your kids are leaning on you. They depend on you so much. You've got to have some support as well.
You know what? Yeah. If my father said to me, "Boy, I'm struggling," you know, I would have helped him my most best. And if people were saying, "Well, how would you have helped?" I would have woke up with him early every morning. I would have gone for a little jog. I would have showed him how good life is. I would have been a support to him, either emotionally, financially, anything I could have done. I would have been at his beck and call. What can I do? What can we do? What can our family do? Or what can a charity do for you? You know, and just breaking that stigma. You know, there's no difference between a man and woman when it comes to depression. There's no difference between a man and woman anyway. You know, but it's don't feel like you've got to take the pressure on life on your own. Why? There's no job sheet when we were born. Right, a man can't cry, a woman has to do this. Why do we feel like this? Who's told us these are the rules? Like, I don't care if a man, if he is the breadwinner for his family, if you're not bringing the bread in that week, don't feel like you failed. You know, you're just having a bad week. We'll learn from our mistakes and we'll move on.
It's overcoming that again.
1,000,000%. Life is peaks and troughs. You know, that is it. You know, and it's horrible hitting a trough. But again, the same way as rock bottom, you're only going to hit a peak then, you know, so that's it, you know. It is easier said than done, and it takes a lot of work, and unfortunately for me, I had to go through a trauma to see this new positive way of life. And it's not just the devastation my dad would have been in, probably taking his own life. It's the devastation that I've seen our family go through, and I don't take no blame for that with my father.
And it's devastating, suicide, because you're left with all these questions, you know, what if I could have done more, like, you know,
1,000,000%.
Discuss then, but actually sometimes, you know, there's only so much you can do. You know, you can ask yourself these questions, and that's when you recognise yourself, that you can work on you can have your mentality and stuff.
Exactly that, you know, don't beat yourself up for what has happened or what couldn't have happened, you know, because yesterday's done. You know, tomorrow, we don't know what's happening tomorrow either, so just do today.
And you've got such a young following on your social media, and you demonstrate such positivity and, again, accepting of a bad day. You're really open and honest. And, you know, people watching this interview and listening to this interview, you know, what would you advise to them if they're they're struggling and you know, what would you suggest to them?
I believe if they're really struggling deep and dark, you know, reach out to Papyrus straight away. There is no hesitation. You know, I can imagine on this video we're going to have the links and everything like that. Reach out. But if you're just feeling a little bit blue, tell your partner, your parents, your colleagues at work. No one's going to laugh at you. Because that's what we think as men. Oh, I'm going to be on a building site, I'm going to say I'm having a bad day, and he's going to go, oh, laugh. I guarantee that guy will go, me too.
Because they're only human again, they're probably going through
they're struggling the same
thing. Yeah.
You're on the same building site, you're earning the same wage, you're going through the same traumas in life, you know, and it's, honestly, please just reach out, and it's not as bad as you think, you know, you just got to take that leap. And what I tell a lot of people now, there's so many people that would rather listen to your life story and your problems than your eulogy, and that's the truth, you know. Why should we wait and say, oh, what if we done something for this person? What if we seeked help? Why say what if? Do it now.
I think people feel like they're a burden, don't they, by asking, like, you know, I don't want to put all that on someone else.
Of course, yeah.
It's like you say, they'd rather have you here and
Yeah.
have you feeling better.
1,000,000%, you know. I will take any time out of my day to help someone in need, you know. One, because I want to help them, but two, I'll need that help at one point. You know?
It's also really important to have those healthy boundaries in place, isn't it? Even though you're, you know, you're giving and you're willing to help, but you've also with people as well. You know, they might be taking on a lot of people's emotions and their support, but it's also really important to have those boundaries for yourself as well, and for anyone.
Yeah,
someone in mental health and suicide.
Exactly that. You know, don't, if you're going to try and help a friend who's grieving or a friend that's like emotionally in trouble, don't feel like you've got to take on all their problems. You're allowed to seek help as well, and you know. Armies only do good when they stick together. You know, you never get a one-man army winning wars, you know. So why do you think you've got to take the world on your own? Stick together as a unity, and you know what, it's going to take a while, but we'll move to Stigma, and you know, and it's so horrible to think that people think that that's their last lifeline, you know what I mean?
And it's just like, say, one step and just saying, I need some help, and then
doors
open.
It's easy as that, you know. As I said, like, you might have lost your job and lost all your money. Seek help. You will get emotional help. Then you'll get another job. You'll get money. You know, it's a long journey, but it's a good journey. You know, just think about the people you can help, we can help, and just think about how good life can be. You know what I mean? It's, as we said, we are programmed to look at the bad things, but we don't have to. There's more good things going on than bad things, you know.
Thank you so much again for Kirk for sharing his story. If you've been affected by what we've talked about today or need some support, please contact Papyrus and use Hopeline.